Warning, this podcast episode contains swearing, drinking, references towards sexual assault, suicide, and violence towards infants. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to Demons and Bellinis, the podcast where we whip up a drink and talk about some spooky shit. I'm one of the 2016 clowns from that clown scare, but sexy. Molly.
Knock knock, who's there? Is that Death? No, it's just me. Ashley.
I do like that one. Okay.
So today we're going to be talking about the infamous case of the Perron family. So grab a beverage of your choosing, get cozy, and check your closet for closets. And remember to stay peachy.
You just said closets for closets.
I did that on purpose.
Okay. Much like me in high school, hide all of your problems in the closet.
Check your closets for closets.
Check your closets for your sexuality.
That's gonna be my thing from here on in, because I've already done it the past 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Just letting you and Fuchsia Molly know that I'm gonna keep fucking that up on purpose.
Okay.
Like, the check your whatever for whatever.
Yeah.
Just, you know what? I'm gonna start coming up with new shit. Like, check your closets for the gays. No one would do that. Check your closets for Donald Trump.
Oh God, I hope not.
That's the real monster into the bed. Alright.
The real monster is fascism.
So we're talking about the Perron family today.
Okay.
And by that name, people probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I start talking about it, people are going to know what the hell I'm talking about.
Okay, so are we gonna hold on to this as a little bit of a secret here?
Yeah, I'll drop it towards the end.
Okay.
So, the Perron family is a very large family.
Mm-hmm.
The main people in this large family you need to know are Carolyn and Roger. They are the mother and father.
Mm-hmm.
And they have 5 daughters. The oldest is, what's her name? I know her name. Andrea.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 big names that you need to know. So the Perron family, their story here starts when they moved into a 14-room farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island in 1972.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, that makes me think of, like, that Instagram account that we follow, where it's, like, all those old houses.
Yeah, me and Ashley follow, there's, like, accounts called, like, Cheap Old Houses, something like that. Sponsor us. But, and we just send each other, like, old houses that are up for sale. Usually talking about how haunted they are.
Yeah, like the one that we just talking about earlier that has an all black wood staircase that looked like some demon took a shit on it. Yeah.
Or what about that one house that had the carpet that looked like flesh?
I hate the flesh house. I hate the flesh house with a burning passion. The flesh house can go to hell. I imagine that this farmhouse has a flesh carpet. Yeah. I should have warned you guys off the bat. I know Molly has her header when we start off the episode, but I'm going to warn you guys again that what I'm going to talk about is really heavy. There's mentions of sexual assault and suicide in this story. So, if you skip this episode, I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's kind of wild that we just, like, went from talking about Victorian era hentai.
I was telling Molly, because we normally do this back to back, and I was telling Molly, but in that break, like, I'm not going to be able to top that. I can't top my own joke about Victorian era hentai.
Anyway, we'll try to be respectful during this episode. Because...
No, I expect you to start screaming at some points in this, because it's absolutely stupid.
Okay.
Some points,
I'm ready to scream.
Some points are like, the fuck? And other points like, ew, the fuck. Yeah.
A good ghost story has both.
So, in good demon and Bellinis fashion... We're going to start with the experiences first.
Mm-hmm.
So the Perrons were told, before they moved in by the family they bought the house from, that, quote, for the sake of your family, leave the lights on at night. And they still,
That's not ominous at all.
They still moved in. That's a quote. They still moved in.
Okay.
So things were pretty chill at first. Notably, it was Carolyn who started notice. Carolyn and the daughters noticed this the most. The daughters they would see like apparitions, which we'll get into later. Carolyn saw some poltergeist stuff.
So once again, we get into the whole poltergeists and ghosts targeting the females of the house.
Polter-yeet!
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 Yeet!
Yeet!
Tap, 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 tap. 8-legged dab.
That wasn't a dab, that was a T-pose.
I'm T-posing.
We will never top polter-yeet or Victorian-era hentai.
Please, someone put it on a shirt, even if it's like a crappy white shirt, and just big block letters that says Victorian-era hentai. I will buy it. I don't care.
We were talking about making
I
that
will
as
buy a shirt with my own joke on it.
I'll do Redbubble.
Yes! Alright. So, Carolyn, she started to notice something was happening with the broom. So the broom would move around on its own as if it were being used, and she claimed to find swept piles of dirt on the floors afterwards. Mm-hmm. And she also heard claims of what she said sounded like nails scraping against the kettle on their stove.
First of all, we have a ghost who is cleaning up after themselves and has an aesthetic.
Yep.
What did this broom look like?
Like just your regular old broom.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, I like the aesthetic of, like, just a broom sweeping itself because that just is very classically witchy to me, and I love classic witch imagery.
I mean, it was in 1972.
Yeah, exactly,
broom.
72,
I mean,
so it's probably like a...
Look up whatever the fuck kind of brooms were popular in the
Yeah.
70s. You could just...
And second, that ghost is just doing ASMR for the family. They should be grateful.
Alright.
Yeah.
But, so that was, like, Carolyn and Roger, what they experienced is vastly different from what the kids experienced to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
The children, they're all 5 daughters. So the girls, they claimed that there were several spirits in the house, not just one, but a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And they claimed that they would see them. The first one is a little boy who liked to play with their toys. The second, and I hate this one so much,
Mm-hmm.
was a man with a, quote, crooked smile.
That's very...
I'm not done. Who would stand in the corners and watch the girls.
Oh, God. That sounds like, that one thing in Haunting of Hill House. Have you watched that yet?
I got, like, halfway through it.
It's very good.
It
made me
crooked
cry.
man?
It's like, she has, like, a vision of this thing with a crooked smile that appears at the end of her bed.
Oh, that's gross.
It really is.
I would be surprised if this had an influence on that. But anyways, so now we're on to number 4 of the list of 9 different gross things.
We had
the
spirit.
apparitions, we had the broom, we had the nails, and the family beforehand saying, leave the lights on for the sake of your family.
Okay.
I combined the broom and the kettle, yeah. So, the family also claimed to smell rotting flesh repeatedly throughout the house.
That is also very common in demonic cases.
Mm-hmm. Like sulfur.
Yeah.
Doors would open on their own. Pictures fell off the walls.
Mm-hmm.
The father, Roger, whenever he went down to the basement, he would say that there is a, quote, cold, stinking presence behind him. And that every time he went down there, like, it would follow him throughout the cellar.
Yeah.
And the family, because of this, the family did their best to avoid it, but something kept fucking up their furnace, so he had to go down there. And
that is all very classic haunted house, which should not scare me at this point, but yet, those are tropes for a reason.
Yeah.
It's all very gross stuff, and I can also relate to that, because I, too, do not like basements.
It's very claustrophobic. It's scary.
Yeah, and presences following you is something that I have experienced in haunted locations, and it's something that is always very unsettling, to say the least. I mean, like, it's kind of a little bit more interesting now that I do understand energy a little bit more after doing witchcraft, because I can sense when presences are with me.
Yeah.
And it makes going into haunted locations a lot more fun, to be honest.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm also, like, I talk to I will end up talking to presences.
That's
Or I'll just be
valid.
like, hey, what's up? Like,
Hey, sup, dude? What's going on?
yeah. Or I'll be like, hey, I'm trying to do witchcraft right now. Can you, like, maybe leave me alone?
I'm trying to focus, damn it.
Because there's, like, oh my god, I saw this meme the other day, which was, like spirits when I'm casting a circle and I'm not completely focused. It's free real estate. And that is 110% what it is like doing witchcraft, because doing witchcraft draws spirits right to you, which is why it's so important to cast your fucking circles.
It's free real estate.
It's free real estate. It's free real estate.
Fuck's sake.
Are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
You can do it too.
No, it's okay. But I have experienced the claustrophobic feeling that spirits give you before. I don't think I told you about this experience. I told you about the one at the opera house I used in the town I used to live at, but there was another experience I had which I haven't really talked about before because it was really bizarre. But where I used to live in Aurelia, there's this house called the Stephen Leacock House, which was the home of Stephen Leacock, who was a very influential Canadian author, writer, artist, and he lived there with his family. And a lot of people in that town used to say that the house was haunted. And so one day I went there with my grandma and grandpa, and it's like a museum now, and we went to the bottom half, and that was all fine. And then we go up the stairs, and as soon as we get upstairs, my chest just like caved in, and I could not breathe. And I was like, for like the first little bit, I was like, it's okay, whatever, it's probably just like claustrophobia or something. But I just got more and more like, I can't do this anymore. There is like something affecting me right now that is making, like, I can't breathe. It's not good. So I just turned to my grandma, and I was like, I need to go outside right now. I need to go outside. So we went outside, and then it was gone. Yeah.
That's what, like, lots of psychics actually cite when they go into haunted locations, that claustrophobic feeling, which, yeah, that happened to me, actually, when I was in, there's this, old fort near where we are. It's not old in terms of, like, I guess,
Fort
like
Langley.
Fort Langley, yeah.
Sorry.
But there's this one location. It's called the White House, and it's this really beautiful, like, tea boutique place.
Yeah.
Like, have you been there?
I've been to the museum near there.
Okay, but I was up there in the White House, and, like, it's really cool because they have all, like, this, like, boutique-y stuff, like, all these, like, really expensive clothes, and it's really fun to, like, go around and take pictures. But I went upstairs, and immediately I felt, like, this pressure in my chest when I went into this one very specific room, and I was like, I don't like this. And so I moved on.
The ghost is just standing in the corner making void noises.
T-posing at you.
It was the octopus.
It was the octopus.
Yeah. No, the claustrophobic feeling is really gross, and I've never experienced it except for that one time. Not even at the spaghetti factory. Spaghetti. All right.
Yeah.
So things started to escalate.
Escalate.
Am I saying that wrong?
Escalate.
So things started to escalate to the point that beds would rise off the floor and furniture would glide around the room.
That escalated very quickly.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, I would say so. That goes from presences to ASMR to just a friendly ghost maid to fucking levitating beds.
Yeah. And then the worst point, number 9 on my list, during a seance, which was witnessed by the family and 2 very prominent paranormal investigators at the time, Carolyn became possessed and spoke in tongues. The oldest daughter, Andrea, claims that her mother's chair levitated into the air and that Carolyn was thrown across the room.
That's gross.
Apparently, though, this happened several times in which Carolyn was thrown around or slapped.
Again, that's also very poltergeisty. Is this a poltergeist case?
It blurs the line between poltergeist and demon, I think.
Okay. That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah. So that takes us into kind of more like the explanations in the history kind of thing. So going back to before that seance, the girls told their parents about the ghosts that they kept seeing. So Carolyn and Roger were like, all right, let's look into the history of this house, see what the hell is going on, kind of like what we do.
Nice.
So the house was owned and built by the Arnold family, who lived there for 8 generations, and most of the family members died in horrific ways.
Okay.
This is where things get a little bit hard to talk about. So in the late 1700s...
We'll give a timestamp in the description of this video just to, like,
yeah,
make sure that you guys can avoid stuff that may or may not trigger you, just because I want you guys to be safe, okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
We love you.
We love you.
So in the late 1700s, Miss John Arnold, her name wasn't actually listed, which is gross, whatever, who was the matriarch of the family. She was 97 years old when she hung herself in the barn and died.
Mm-hmm.
One of the daughters, Prudence Arnold, was assaulted and murdered by one of the farmhands in the barn when she was 11. Another son, Johnny Arnold, he hung himself in the attic, and 4 men mysteriously froze to death on the property.
I don't like this place. It has bad juju.
Yeah. Yet despite finding that out, they still stuck around.
I mean, people say that a lot in horror movies where it's like, why don't you just fucking move?
Oh, I know, no, I talk about that later on because this family couldn't move.
Yeah, that's the thing. Financially, that's not always the best decision.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I get saying you should have just moved away from this house, but that is the
It's
very
not logical.
simple
It's not
explanation.
easy.
And it completely takes away all other factors that might have brought this family in the house in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gross. So...
And, like, we should probably stop victim blaming
Yeah.
people in paranormal cases. I'm just...
Yeah.
Hot take.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So, after the girls began to experience something yanking their ankles and hair while they were sleeping, as well. Are you ready to scream? This is probably the most disturbing thing.
Okay.
As well, so their ankles and hair was being yanked. As well, the youngest daughter, her name is Cindy, said that an entity was whispering into her ear, and this is a quote, this is what she said, the entity was whispering into her ear while she was sleeping. Quote, "Dead soldiers are buried in the walls."
I don't like that. I want my crystal. Can you hand me my crystal?
Which one?
Big round one.
Big brown one?
Big round boy.
Yeah, this is why I said, can you please sage when we're done? This one?
No, big round one.
This one?
Yeah. Thank you. I like this one.
This is why I'm wearing all of mine too today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna sage the fuck out of this one because I hate this story so much.
I'm glad that I have a lot of protective wardings in my room.
I also, I did this research, finished it, and then I had nightmares for 2 nights.
Yeah. Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah. So this entity was whispering that into the youngest daughter's ear. Well, like during the night. So there was also another entity that was doing something else, but you know what? I'm just not going to talk about it because it was really gross.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you?
You can tell me later.
Okay. Anyways, so after Cindy told her, Roger and Carolyn that was happening, they decided to do even more research, and that was when they discovered the legend of Bathsheba Thayer.
I have heard of this legend.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting, having at least my opinion on this, I think. Not gonna spoil this before you talk, but I actually don't know how I'm gonna react to this, because I find that there's I think that there's a divide, maybe, from, like, these kind of individuals and what I do, so.
Yeah. Because this is gross.
Yeah.
Again, here, things are gonna get tough to talk about. So, she married a man named Judson Sherman in the mid-1800s, and shortly after that, she went to live on the Arnold estate. And the first child that Bathsheba and Judson had died, and Bathsheba was charged with the murder of this baby, or child. The infant was found with its head in... Oh, should I talk about this? Should I say this? This is hard.
Maybe we can, like, have a post on Tumblr or something where we can have, like, a read more thing. Do you think that's a possibility? So we can, like, post all of this information so that we're not leaving it out, but we aren't talking about it for those who might not want to hear it. I think, maybe we should save it for another post.
Okay, so I'll skip over that part.
Just the baby was found to be
dead, and not in a good way.
A ritualistic, like, sacrifice?
Yes. The townsfolk whispered, again, here we go, whispering, that the murder had been a sacrifice to Satan, and that Bathsheba was a practicing Satanist who summoned the devil to grant her the gift of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
She was arrested but freed shortly after due to the lack of evidence. Turns out that she actually lived in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And so she lived there for the rest of her life as an outcast from the community until she died in the early 1900s, again, by hanging herself from a tree behind the house. And it's said that in death, her body had mysteriously turned into stone, or so hard it was stone.
So rigor mortis. Rigor mortis.
Rigor mortis.
Who's Morris? Sorry, I just had to crack a joke.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. It's hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was also said to be a part of the death of a neighbor's child, but there was no trial about that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Carolyn and Roger thought that Bathsheba was haunting the house because they claimed that Bathsheba was targeting Carolyn by, at first, just pinching and slapping her,
Mm-hmm.
and then she started to throw things at Carolyn. She also claims that Bathsheba stabbed her with a sewing needle.
Ooh.
So when this didn't work to get rid of her, Bathsheba is said to have tried possessing her.
Okay.
And here, you might be thinking now, oh wait, this sounds familiar. That's because this story is what inspired the first Conjuring movie.
Which is also, you guessed it, a haunted film set. I wonder the fuck why.
Ay.
Some of the ones that I was looking into, because didn't a lot of the actors experience stuff following them home and
I didn't actually research a lot into that side of things. I researched more into Ed and Lorraine Warren, who, as I said before, are the two very prominent paranormal
You actually did not. You didn't name them, which I
well,
thought
no,
was
I know,
fun.
but I hinted at there are two prominent paranormal investigators.
The Warrens.
It's the Warrens, who I'm actually thinking are a little bit sketchy.
Mm.
I'm going to tell you why later.
Okay, I'm excited.
I don't watch horror movies, which is why I watched this one. My boyfriend made me watch it, and I was really upset. He basically held me down and made me watch it, and I was very upset with him.
I watched it when I was, I think, I want to say 16 or 17.
Yeah, it's still fairly new.
Yeah, I watched it actually at a Halloween party for gay kids. And I watched it through my
yeah, that's how I watched it.
Oh god, I'm so excited for the next one.
But yeah, I think it's probably one. I think The Conjuring is a good movie series, horror movie series, because it is actually scary. Conjuring 1 and 2, not their spin-off movies. I think those are trash. But the major Conjuring ones, the first one and the second one especially, because I think that from a horror writing perspective, I think that they do actually make you scared, unlike other ghost and haunted house ones, which are just bleh!
Yeah,
right?
Well, I mean, on two different levels, I don't like jump scares because one, I think
I don't like them either. I think they're horrible.
And two, because it gives me anxiety.
That too. But The Conjuring does have jump scares, but does it in a way where it's not every 5 minutes. It I remember in the second Conjuring movie, there's legitimately half an hour where nothing happens. Legit, nothing happens, and then it scares you. And I think that was done really effectively and well. That's how you do horror, folks.
I love a good psychological horror movie. One of my favorite horror movies is actually Sinister.
Oh, fuck me up.
That one's
so
also
scary.
Also the image what you were talking about with the hanging up and the trees, that's just what I was thinking of, the intro to the first Sinister movie.
With the what?
With the family who's all hanging from the trees.
Yeah. It's gross. Because there is a shot in the Conjuring movie where you see the feet behind Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shot. As scary as it is, it's a good shot.
I
would write
horror
that.
movies have some really good cinematography.
They do. If it's done well. Not just boobs.
Yeah.
If I want to watch boobs, I'll just watch porn.
Like what's one like The Woman in Black?
So good.
That one has some beautiful
so
cinematography.
Good. Is it unpopular opinion? I think the second one's better than the first one.
I haven't watched the second one in a long time, but
second one's good.
The second one was very good. I actually liked it a lot. It was a good sequel.
Also, It Follows.
I've not watched It Follows.
You have not watched It Follows?
No.
Fuck, you need to watch It Follows. It is iconic. It's iconic. Can we watch that after this?
I don't know if I want to watch new horror movies after
it's not,
this.
It's not that I don't do horror and I can watch it.
Okay, we also need to watch The Ritual and RuPaul's Drag Race, which is coming on tonight. Yeah.
But It Follows. Okay, sorry, I'm going off on tangent here, but It Follows is done so well. It's not very scary. It's just unsettling. Like, you feel uncomfortable, but you don't feel like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
And it's like so many other things that I want to talk about, but I can't because time limit.
The thing about horror movies is, sorry, I'm just gonna go over the time limit, is that, like, I'm, like, not the type of person who likes to watch horror movies,
Same.
much like you.
It gives me anxiety.
I like watching them through my eyes and being able to, like, pause them when I need to.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen one horror movie in theaters, and that was, what was that one? Fuck. The one with, the creatures that attack you if you make noise.
Oh,
The Quiet Place. Quiet
Place.
I watched A Quiet Place in theaters, and this is just me talking about, I'm very scared to see the second It movie in theaters, because
I saw the first one in theaters.
I didn't watch that one until, like, I think, like, a good, like, 6 months after it came out.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting about it is that throughout the whole movie, I was so scared, and then the second that the kids stopped being scared, I was no longer scared. Which I was like, fuck it up! That is some good horror writing good horror movies.
Up.
But yeah, no, like, because that was done so well, right? And then, like,
I'm always nutting over it.
Yeah, that was just done really well, and I appreciated it for doing it that way.
I think, like, I have my issues with the movie, because I also read the book, but the book is not perfect either.
No, that's a... Oh my god. Molly, we're in the middle of an episode!
Sorry, I'll tell you this later. But yeah, I'm, like, very scared, because I want to watch it when it comes out at midnight. Because I'm that bitch.
Are we going to midnight premiere?
I want to go to the midnight premiere, but I am very terrified to see it, because apparently it's going to be a lot scarier than the first one.
Are we going to have, like, a sleepover?
Sure.
Will that make you feel better?
Yeah, it would.
Alright, we're doing that. We're having a Demons and Bellinis sleepover night, guys.
Yeah. And you gave me some merch to wear to it, so, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. She got me it merch for Christmas.
Merry Crisis.
Merry Crisis.
Alright. I saw the second Conjuring movie in theaters because Brock, my boyfriend, really wanted to see it. And, so he made me watch the first one. He, like, held me down and made me watch it, and I was very upset with him. And then we went and watched the second one, and I was still very upset with him. Anyways.
Your boyfriend really likes dragging you to horror movies.
Yeah, he, like, likes them.
I mean, that's fair.
Like, Sinister is his all-time favorite.
I like Sinister a lot.
Yeah.
I already said that, but I like it.
I mean, it is good.
The aesthetic of it's very cool.
It's good.
I love the murder films.
Like, it's good because it's so scary.
Yeah.
And, like, the second Conjuring movie, I think, is really fascinating. And I want to talk about that story some other time.
That one's the,
Enfield.
I have not watched the second one.
Oh, bitch.
We're going to compile a list of just horror movies that I need to watch.
My only thing with the second movie is that there are so many ghosts! There's too many! There's so many! I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Too many
There's somebody
ghosts.
else over there!
Too many ghosts.
Who the fuck is that, too?
At the end of, spoilers, Haunting of Hill House, you see how many ghosts are in the house.
Can you not spoil it for me? God damn!
There's just this shot where you see all the ghosts that are in the house, and it's like...
That's cool, though.
It's like 40 ghosts.
40?
40 or 30.
Damn.
It's a lot of fucking ghosts.
If they're not paying rent or fucking me, they can get out of my house.
Mood.
Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh, yes. We were talking about Ed and Lorraine Warren. I think they're a power couple. As sketchy as they are a power couple. So Ed and Lorraine Warren, in my eyes, they are the pioneers of paranormal investigation as we know it today. They're kind of the reason that we have Zach Bagans. Yeah.
I mean, I think that a lot of paranormal investigators, including us, are, like, sketchy.
Oh, yeah.
Because we all have our own biases.
And we're dramatic hosts.
All paranormal investigators, all of them. Ed and Lorraine Warren, Zach Bagans, Molly and Ashley. Dramatic hoes.
We do not belong on that list, but whatever.
You know what?
If my paranormal experience is the spaghetti factory, I do not belong on a list with Ed and Lorraine Warren and Zach Bagans. If me making jokes about Victorian era hentai is my paranormal experience, I do not belong on that list.
At least we're, like, kind of honest.
No, I'm bringing it blunt to you guys, alright? As much as I consider these guys, like, the pioneers, I will call them out.
Okay, call them out.
Alright. So in 1952, Ed and Lorraine Warren established the New England Society for Psychic Research and started their own occult museum in their basement.
Which you can still visit today.
Yes, you can. I'm going to talk about that. Filled it with objects from their cases, because that's a good idea. And Lorraine said that ever since she was a child, she could see auras around people, like their energy kind of thing. And Ed said that he grew up in a haunted house and is a self-taught demonologist. And he started studying demonology after serving in World War II. So since starting in 1952 up until Ed's death, they investigated 10,000 cases.
That's a lot of cases.
All over the world. They had assistance from doctors, police, and other scientific and paranormal researchers. And these cases include Annabelle the Doll, Enfield, and even Amityville.
Amityville is a fun one. We should cover that at some point.
And Lorraine Warren are the reason that, have you guys ever seen that photo of, like, a kid with, like, white eyes peering around a door? I think it's that photo. They took that photo.
Mm-hmm. And
then that was at Amityville. And they said that was the demon kid running around the house.
Honestly, we owe a lot to Ed and Lorraine Warren in terms of, like, even horror movie franchises. Yeah. Because there are so many, they're just based off of their own cases.
Yeah. And, like,
and there's also, I think they did the, Haunting in Connecticut, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a fun one.
Yeah. They have a cool website where you can, like, go around and see all their cases and stuff.
Oh, fun.
That's where I got most of this information was from them. They apparently caught EVPs from Amityville as well. And then after they published their case, that was when Amityville, like, skyrocketed. Into, like, the hoax area.
Yeah.
That's why I think they're sketchy. Because people, like, majority of people agree that Amityville was a hoax, and then you have these people being like, no, it actually wasn't. And I was like, okay. So anyways, the Perron family called Ed and Lorraine Warren because they saw the Amityville stuff. So when the Warrens got to the Perron family house, there were a few things that happened differently than how you saw them in the Conjuring movie. They did see Carolyn get thrown across the room and witness her speak in tongues, which you do see in the movie. Unlike the movie, since Ed is not an official church demonologist, which is a thing that you can become. You can become an official church demonologist. Every church requires a demonologist on site. So if you ever need a job, just be a demonologist. No, it actually requires a lot of study. You basically need, like, a degree in demonology.
Which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to meet a demonologist one day.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, let's have one on air.
So Ed,
donate to our coffee.
Was not official. He wasn't like registered with the church, so he was not allowed to conduct an exorcism. So what they did instead, which in the movie at the end, spoilers, but at this point, Ed does conduct an exorcism on Carolyn, but that did not happen in real life because of the rules. So what they did try to do is cleanse the house, but that only made things worse. Eventually, all the Warrens had to offer was leave the house.
Yeah.
But the family didn't have enough money to move. So the Perron family was stuck in that house, having to endure Bathsheba and all the other ghosts, like the Crooked Man standing there in the corner. Crooked Small Man. There's a difference between that man and the Crooked Man in the second movie. And, I think it's so cool. Let's talk about character design, bitch. But, they were thought, like, the boy that played with, like, their toys and stuff, they were stuck in that house until 1980. They moved in 1972. They were stuck there until 1980. When they could finally moved out. And people are now urged to just stay away from the house. I don't think anyone lives there anymore.
That's good.
Because there's so many ghosts in there. So Ed Warren passed away in 2006, and Lorraine retired from investigations shortly after that. And their museum's still open. You can go see it. You can see the real Annabelle doll.
Don't insult her.
Don't insult her. Be nice to her. Say
she's
she
gorgeous.
Looks pretty.
We love her.
She's so sweet and lovely. We love her. We're saying that because we value our lives.
We stand a legend.
So, when it came time for the Conjuring movie to me, which was actually quite a project, Lorraine worked very closely with the director, James Wan, during the production of the movie, and she didn't allow him to take any liberties with the film, except for the ending, but alright.
I guess.
Yeah. Which at the end of the exercise, Bathsheba would damn her to hell, but that's not a liberty, right? But she made sure things were as close as possible to how they actually happened. In my notes, I say, save for the ending, but whatever.
But whatevs. But go
also,
off, I guess.
Do you know The Nun?
The Nun? I have not watched it, but I do know of her.
So, I can't remember the exact name, but I don't want to remember the exact name because apparently that's a demon name, and I don't want to remember that name.
Mm-hmm.
Demon names are gross. Be very careful with names.
As we learnt in our, what was that, 3rd episode, 4th episode?
Yeah, don't say names.
Don't say names.
Unless it's like a really old one, like Beelzebub, but whatever.
Yeah.
But other ones, don't say them.
Don't say that.
So anyways, apparently that nun that appears in the second entity is based off an actual entity that Lorraine said follows her. Like, she has a very weird, close relationship with this entity. Like, she knows it's there and that's following her. She could try to cleanse it, but she doesn't. She said it's not human.
Okay.
But she never, like, said, like, from what I could find, she just kind of lets it be, and that thing lets her be. Okay. But they still it follows her around.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that nun is actually based off of a real entity Lorraine talked about. Yeah. I'm gonna get really salty here for a second. Okay. Another source for this, that I researched, and I really wish I could get these hours back. The eldest daughter, Audra Perron, wrote 3 books about what happened. And they're the worst books I have ever read in my life. And I have read a lot of books. I've never seen such scathing Amazon reviews before.
Did she not have an editor?
No, it's convoluted. It's hard to read. If you think academia is hard, try reading her books.
Audra.
It took her one whole book to finally start talking about Bathsheba.
And how long did you how long did you read this for?
I probably spent like 2 hours just trying to go through it before I finally was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna go find articles that quote her. I can't read this. It's so bad. I'm sorry, but it was so bad.
Oh, Audra.
Bad.
Audra. Get yourself an editor.
It's Andrea. I said Audra. It's Andrea.
You said. Oh, okay. Sorry. You said Audra, and then I hooked onto Audra.
No, it's Andrea.
Andrea, please get an editor. I'm begging you. I would love to read your
3
stuff.
3 volumes.
Oh, it's 3 volumes.
3 books.
Oh, darling.
But if you want to read them, they're on Amazon. Go send her some money.
I mean, after all that, she kind of deserves it.
So I wrote in caps. Would you have a Bellini with any of these people? No. Not even Lorraine. I think Lorraine's really cool.
Okay, yeah, Lorraine maybe, but then I also don't want to take a chance with the nun.
Oh yeah, the nun.
I
mean, they're pretty like chill.
I know they're chill, but like the thing with Lorraine is that she's often around these spirits. Yeah. And so she probably has a lot of attachments. Like Zach Bagans, he has a lot of attachments.
Yeah, he has like 50.
I wouldn't want to chill with Zach Bagans, honestly, just because
it's overwhelming. I think, like, I remember him saying that in one of his books where he's like, because of the stuff that follows him around, a lot of people find it really overwhelming. That's why he like doesn't date anymore. Yeah. Because people are just too overwhelmed by it. Yeah.
And I feel like Lorraine Warren would be a very similar case just because she has like 10,000, what was that? 10,000?
10,000 cases.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah. And also like that museum. I don't know if she's, her son-in-law, I think it's her son-in-law or his son-in-law, is now taking on their society
the
and
family
doing
business.
The family business, to quote Supernatural. And is now doing investigations. And I'm pretty sure it's him that appeared on that Ghost Adventures Halloween special.
Interesting.
Last year.
Cool.
I think it was last year. Did you see that episode?
I did not.
He brought the real Annabelle doll. And like, this is kind of like the reason I was super hesitant to say like Bashiba's name, for the same reason that like on that episode they're super hesitant to like say Annabelle's name, because with all these movies and all this hype and people saying these names.
That's the thing, right?
Right? It just contributes all this energy to those spirits by, like, talking about them. And, like, you don't know.
Language and words
and going
have
back
a lot
to,
of power.
Yeah, and going back to the whole name thing, where it's like there are certain names you should just never... Even thinking about them is not a good idea, right? Because you don't even know. Because you're still putting energy into that,
like,
right?
Like, people... If you thought that saying Voldemort's bad...
Yeah, think of it in that way.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, names have a lot of power.
Yeah. So if you ever get into, like, paranormal research, be very careful with names.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same reason where it's like if you ever go on a paranormal investigation, I've heard this, like, differently. Some people are comfortable with it, some people aren't, with saying your own name when you go on a paranormal investigation.
That's actually why... Or not why, but I remember reading this one thing where it's like that's why you have a middle name, so that nothing can know your full name unless you give it to them willingly.
I thought that was fairies.
Maybe that's fairies. I don't know. I'm drunk, but I think that's a very interesting concept.
What's up, ghosts? My name Patricia.
Patricia.
Hi.
My name is Sally.
Sally.
Yeah, that's my name.
Oh, we should do the Sally House.
Oh, the Sally House would be fun, yeah. I feel like I want to, like, avoid doing, like, the, like, big BuzzFeed Unsolved cases. Our fun fact, our first episode was actually going to be about the Doll Island, but then I didn't want to butcher pronunciations in the first episode. So then Bavalia, because Bavalia is also really fun. But, you know.
I like how my favorite thing on BuzzFeed Unsolved is when he's clearly talking about Zach Bagans, but he doesn't say Zach Bagans' name. It's happened twice. It's happened twice. It happened with the Goatman episode, I think. And
yeah. A paranormal investigator.
And somebody, it was another one, I can't remember which one it was, but it was very, very
It was
obvious.
related to Bilbo Baggins.
The fuck up. Shut the...
Buy my silence for $20 a month.
Will 5 cents work?
No. I didn't even finish my drink throughout 2 episodes.
No, I'm not done mine either yet. Look at what's happening. I'm turning into an alcoholic.
That's what I actually have on our coffee page. Please fund our alcoholism excess.
That's bad. That's why no one's bought us anything, Mommy. You need to change that so people actually support us.
I thought it was funny.
It is funny, but that's why people aren't sending us money. Because they care about us, Molly.
Aww.
Alright, Molly's really drunk and
I'm not.
feel... You sure?
Yeah.
Alright, so that's all I have. Again, sorry that it was really heavy. Please take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and you are safe, and we love you.
Mm-hmm.
And, you are safe from all negative entities. We put out that good energy, and you are safe. Have sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.
We love you.
Alright. Do we have... Oh, also, this is our 10th episode, so how do you feel going into 10 episodes, Ashley?
Fans, please interact. Sorry, no, that was bad. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's really hard work doing podcasts and doing, like, there's a lot of research and stuff going on behind the scenes that you guys might not think that happens, but there's a lot. Molly legit has to, like, hide whenever we sigh in an edit. Like, she has to, like, go through and pick that shit out. Do you know how hard that is? It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know because I don't know how to do this shit.
Do you have any idea how many times I've had to fucking cut out Ashley burping? A lot.
Burped once this whole time. Are you proud of me?
You burped more than once.
I hit it.
3 times.
I hit it.
You did.
I hit it.
I was very proud of you.
I get gassy when I have bubbly things. But it's hard. And, like, we love everyone who has been listening. And you're probably not going to hear this from other podcasters because I don't want to sound, like, ungrateful. And don't get us wrong. We are very grateful. And we are grateful for everything that you guys have. All the reblogs and the likes and the supports and the listens. But every reblog and retweet means a lot. Because that means that more ears are being opened to our drunken, horrible jokes. So, I mean, we look very forward much to...
We look very much forward.
To the future, to the next 10 episodes of this.
We should make 13 really good.
13?
Episode 13, we should make that really good.
That's gonna be...
Bye episode.
Your episode. Maybe our first guest.
Maybe.
It'll just be our significant others.
Maybe so.
Because they're the only people who will do it for free.
Yeah. Alright, Take care. Stay safe
Wait,
out
no,
there.
how are you feeling?
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling really good. I mean, like, yeah, it is a lot of work. I basically had to teach myself very crude sound editing. I don't know if I'm great yet, but like,
You're good.
I'm putting.
You hide my burps. You're good.
I do, and so that's been really interesting. Is I've learned a lot about time management. I've kind of learned a lot what it's like to be on the other end of being on a creative project, which is very interesting because we do consume a lot of media in our day-to-day lives, and it's very fun, I guess, or like eye-opening rather, to just see what goes into all of that. And it's a lot. And like even uploading bi-weekly is a lot. Yeah, like we're your bi-weekly source of spookiness.
Spooky Saturday, bitches.
Yeah, which we have to start using.
I'm gonna start using hashtag Spooky Saturday.
Thank you so much.
It's probably someone else is already using it, but we're gonna use it too.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is indeed caring, which is why you should retweet. But yeah,
blog.
It's been fun. I really like it. I like. Yeah. And like we said in our like, I forget which episode it was now, but in this recording session that we've been doing, we kind of mentioned that like lately we become a lot more skeptical, which I think is also very interesting because it means we have higher standards.
We do have high standards. If it doesn't have hentai, I don't fucking care.
Shut the fuck up.
For the record, I don't actually watch hentai. I've never seen hentai.
Yeah, good.
Boobs?
Titties.
Pixelated titties!
Female presenting pixelated nipples.
My nipple!
And yeah, no, it's been really fun. Like, as like hard work as it is, I really, really love just hearing all of our drunken shenanigans because I always kind of knew that we bounced off well off of each other.
Ever since we got paired up to waltz in Beauty and the Beast musical in high school.
That's how we met.
No, we met in English. Was that the same semester?
The musical rehearsal starts like in September.
No, I know, but
and then we had it in the second semester.
Did we have English in the second?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
We met in the musical and then we had English together and we just had this teacher who had a lot of opinions that we did not necessarily agree with.
They weren't good opinions.
Namely some stuff about Taming of the Shrew in 1984.
They were very sexist opinions to be teaching grade 12s.
And so we basically had to like cling to each other for dear life to not like fucking die in this not stupidity but stupidity.
Yeah, not eat this bald man alive.
Fuck.
We've been graduated for 2 years, I can say that shit.
Yeah. But
I just yoinked your crystal. I feel scared.
Cassie gave that one to me.
Oh, hey, go support Cassie Rose on Instagram.
She sells crystals. I buy a lot of her crystals.
They are absolutely beautiful and amazing, and we love them. Please go check her out. This is not sponsored. We just think she's a magical, beautiful soul.
Have a great day, and we'll see y'all later, okay?
Bye!
Thank you so much for tuning in this week, and we hope that you enjoyed the episode. This episode features the voices of Molly Lorette and Ashley Smith. Our theme music was composed and produced by Larry Lorette. Our cover image was designed by Ashley Smith, and sound editing was done by Molly Lorette. Have any comments, concerns, or cases you want us to cover? Email us at demonsandbellinis@gmail.com. You can also find us at Demons and Bellinis on Tumblr, Demons and Bellinis on Instagram, and at DBellinis on Twitter. That's capital D and capital B. You'll also be able to find case pictures tweeted out there and posted to our Instagram. Also, make sure that if you like what we do here, drop us a donation at Ko-fi, which you can find through our Twitter. Thanks again, and we hope that you keep your ears open.